Hikes on Dykes. Cambridgeshire has 4 ancient linear defensive earthworks, believed to be Anglo-Saxon in origin, although they may date back to the early Iron Age. These are the Devil's Dyke, the Fleam Dyke, the Brent Ditch, and the Bran Ditch. It is believed that they were designed to control movement along the Icknield Way and to create a defensive barrier for the lands to the east. The chalk grasslands along these dykes are ideal habitats for butterflies, insects, and wildflowers. The Fleam Dyke and Roman Road Walk. A 25-mile circular walk incorporating the Fleam Dyke, the ancient Roman road, the Via Divana, and Wandlebury. The Fleam Dyke is a 25-foot high bank and ditch barrier which runs for 3 miles between the village of Bolsham in the south and Fulbourn near Cambridge. It is believed to have been built in the 5th and 6th centuries by the Anglo-Saxons in order to defend their core settlements against Romano-British attacks from the southwest. It is thought that it may follow a Neolithic boundary path to Mutlow Hill, the highest point on the dyke. This information board provides a useful map of the walk. Here I am walking past a pretty thatched cottage in Bolsham, the southern end of the Fleam Dyke near Bolsham, where it connects to the Icknield Way. Beech tree growing in the middle of the trail on the Fleam Dyke. The astringent bark of the beech has traditionally been used as a remedy for minor ailments such as boils, piles, and other skin complaints. This information board about the Roman road informs us that the road was made by the Romans almost 2,000 years ago. It runs for 10 miles from Cambridge into Suffolk. The northern half, known as Worsted or Wall Street, is a scheduled monument because it was built to a higher standard than the rest. Most Roman roads are buried under tarmac, but this part of their great road system has survived as a green way because there is a parallel main road nearby, the A1307. Along the wide verges you can still see the flowers which were once common on the chalk grasslands of South Cambridgeshire, for example dropwort, common knapweed, agrimony, and wild basil. This is why the northern half of the road is also listed as a site of special scientific interest. It was built to link the Roman camps at Godmanchester and Cambridge to Colchester via the big camp at Great Chesterford. It crossed the Icknield Way, which was a network of prehistoric tracks running northeast along the dry chalk ridge. The most important Roman roads were paved. Lesser roads, like this one, were built on the standard ditch and bank pattern and then surfaced with gravel. These roads were of great use to travellers and also to traders such as the wool merchants of Suffolk. Wandlebury. The Iron Age hill fort at Wandlebury, the Wandlebury Ring, is located at the top of the low-lying chalk hills just to the southeast of Cambridge, the Gog Magog Hills. It has a fascinating history. There is evidence to show that the Iceni tribe lived there 2,300 years ago. It was occupied by the Romans. It has been an 18th century country estate and home to the famous Godolphin Arabian horse. There have been several reported UFO sightings and crop circles there. It is believed that images of the mythical legendary giants, Gog and Magog, were cut into the chalky hillside, although these are no longer visible. The Mary Line passes right through the middle of the ring. It is interesting to note that it is located on a spur of the chalky ridge which extends across the whole of southern Britain and which runs along the Ridgeway and the Icknield Way. Today it is a very popular leisure spot for the residents of Cambridge. I have visited Wandlebury on many occasions, and each time I discover something new about it. When I completed my Fleam Dyke and Roman Road walk, I approached it from a new direction to previously, and I was drawn to an overgrown track which took me to the top of the hidden tumulus on Wormwood Hill. I was excited to discover that it was buzzing with a very special sort of energy, and it made me realise that Wandlebury is indeed a powerful centre in the area, evidenced by the large number of visitors, although I think the energies there are a bit conflicted at the moment. There are a couple of spots in the area which have very negative energy. One of these is the Nine Wells Nature Reserve, located to the northwest of Wandlebury. The Nine Wells are the source of the Hobson's Brook waterway, which runs through the centre of Cambridge. When my friend Gilly and I visited it in 2017, we were almost bowled over by the force of negativity which seems to have infested the site, and despite our best efforts, there was nothing we could do to heal it. It was almost as though it was trying to forcibly eject us from the site. It really didn't want us there, and it was so unpleasant that we actually couldn't leave it fast enough. The other site is the Copley Hill Round Barrow to the east of Wandlebury. There was a similar sort of negative energy there, which was telling me to keep away. The Devil's Dyke, 7 miles from Wood Ditton to Reach. The Devil's Dyke is the largest of the Cambridgeshire dykes, reaching a height of around 30 feet and a width of 120 feet in some places. When it was created, it completely blocked a narrow land corridor between the southern edge of the fens at Reach and the dense woodlands to the south. It crossed 3 important Roman roads, including the Icknield Way. This is the point where the Icknield Way crosses the Devil's Dyke. My son Alex and I stopped there for our lunch break when we were walking the Icknield Way. Sandfoin on the Devil's Dyke. Sandfoin is a great forage legume and soil conditioner. The Aldreth Causeway. 2.5 miles from the village of Aldreth to Belsars Hill near Willingham. Before the fens were drained, there were 3 ancient causeways which ran across the swamps and marshes to the Isle of Ely, the main one of which was the Aldreth Causeway, which runs in a southwesterly direction from the village of Aldreth to what is believed to have been an Iron Age hill fort at Belsars Hill. It is believed to have prehistoric origins, although it is probably better known for the 2 battles which were fought there between William the Conqueror and Hereward the Wake in the 11th century. William apparently constructed a timber causeway across the marshes in an attempt to capture Ely, but the causeway sank beneath the weight of his army and many of his men drowned. On a second attempt, for which William recruited the help of a local witch, Hereward the Wake and his men set fire to the surrounding weeds and successfully routed the army.